So, this one's gonna be again about Yes. Yes by Robert B. Cialdini and at A or I or AI, you know. Maybe he is AI, maybe it is written by AI. So yeah, Robert B. Cialdini, that you might know, has co-authored Yes, exclamation mark, which is a new book of him, which is basically also talking about persuasion and behavioral psychology and all those things. It's a great book, so far. We've also went through it yesterday, so therefore there's another episode on it. So if you want to check it out, go onto the podcast and or go just to my channel and yesterday. There's gonna be the video from yesterday, and then you have the video from yesterday. And if you just want to listen to it as a podcast version, as an audio only version, then just please also go into the description. There's going to be my channel or my podcast, and then you can listen to every single episode. Also this episode is going to be also available as an audio only version, which means that you can listen to it, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, there's also an audio only version. You can listen to it if you're really interested in it, because nobody has the time, or not nobody. Not everybody has the time to actually go through a 30-minute video, something that I understand, something that just totally makes sense for me and also to me, and therefore I'm having an audio only version so they can listen to it, so that you can have the exact same experience, maybe even a better experience, because I'm editing it, because the audio is going to be a little bit better. And but I think we're going to go ahead after the intro, as every single day, as always, as dab. Yes. Dab on them haters, as somebody once said, and a wise old man once said, dab on the haters. But we have went through, I think, 7 statements, because this book, to just, give you a little bit of an explanation, this book is available I think this is actually the second print, and there's another print, and actually there's an older version and there's a newer version. This is a summary on the newer version, and the newer version has just, I think, 10 more examples or 10 more statements in it, or 10 more secrets, as they call it. And all those 10 secrets are basically explained with a little study, quote unquote. So a little just explanation, a little bit of an example for what it is, what they mean, because sometimes it is not really clear. Sometimes it is like, what do they mean? What are they talking about? And then it is actually very nice to have something like an example to just really see what this thing is all about. But yesterday, as I said, we came to just point 7, or we also finished up with point 7. Therefore, today is going to be point 8's turn, or 8's turn. Never mind. Thing is, I'm going to read. The thing is that I'm going to fucking read. The 8th one is to bypass a buyer's compromise choice, a product that falls between what they need at a minimum and what they could spend at a maximum, introduce a third, more expensive product. So to bypass a buyer's compromise choice, introduce a third, more expensive product. Makes sense. Really makes sense. But let's actually see what the example is. So when Williams Sonoma introduced a bread making machine superior to their bestsellers, sales of the existing bestseller nearly doubled. Because it got cheaper, probably, and or the new one just got a little bit more expensive. And people are going to be like, well, I don't need the newest one. I do not just want to spend all the fucking money, I do not want to I don't have the money even. And maybe, I've seen it pretty often, that people actually often use 3 products. The first one's going to be just a beginner thing, or the first one's going to be okay, it's the cheapest one. The last one is just the most expensive one. And in the middle is in the middle is the middle, and this product is just some mediocre one. It is not the best, and it is also not the worst. The thing is, people tend to buy it, at least as I kind of can think about it, just because it's okay, a lot of people are like, okay, I do not want to have the lowest one. I do not want to have the worst quote unquote one, but I also do not need the most expensive one. Therefore, I'm just gonna go with the middle. I'm just gonna go with the mediocre one, which is, I think people know, people understand, and people can also assume that it is the case. So it makes sense for me. And I do just really have to say that all those statements and those secrets, as they say, they all are pretty nice. Like, they're really nice. I like them. The first the first 7 were basically somehow the same, but this 8th one is actually something completely different. Looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that. The 9th one. When you next find yourself in a competitive situation, arrange if possible to appear towards the end of the selection process to place yourself at an increased advantage. The example, or the explanation, whatever it is, in an analysis of Eurovision Song Contests held from 1953, there have actually been some contests in 1953. It's a pretty old contest, isn't it? To 2003, artists who performed later in the competition were typically awarded higher marks than those who performed earlier. As I'm just thinking about it, why it could be the case, because, which is something that's relatively sad here in the summary, doesn't explain why it is the case. I actually assume that in the book it's going to be something different, that in the book they're going to just talk about why it is the case. But in this kind of scenario, in this situation, no, they're not explaining it. The thing is, why could it be the case? Why could it be the case? Maybe it is like, okay, in the really beginning, even though somebody is really, really, really good in the very beginning, they're not going to give them a really high mark just because they do not have anything to compare him or her with. Which means, like, okay, there may be, I don't know, like, everyone's just thinking differently, but it seems somehow to be the case that this is actually something that is proven, that I don't know, like, people do not want to give the highest marks or the best mark or whatever just right ahead, even though this artist or this performer, this whatever, is just really good, because they don't have any comparison, which to some degree also really makes sense, because they can't say if this person is really that good, because it always comes up to whom you're comparing this person to, because sometimes if you're in a group with a lot of very, very strong performers and or just very strong singers or dancers or whatever it is, then of course you also have to be really, really, really good to get a high mark. If you just, I don't know, if you're good in a group where everybody is just really shit, you're just enormously good, because everybody else is very shit. Something that's at least in my school, teachers are actually doing this consciously, so that, I don't know, like, they always grade you in terms of, like, how the other people are, or how the whole class is. Like, it totally makes a difference, seemingly, it seemingly makes a difference. But yeah, very interesting. But what do you think? It would be very interesting. Just put it down into the comments if you want to, and or just hit me up on social media, wherever you are, because I'm quite everywhere. I'm everywhere looking for you. I am really looking for people that wanna just that wanna want my content. Yeah, that wanna want my content. The 9th and next one. When you next find yourself in a competitive situation, I've read that one. The 10th one. People generally prefer lists that use familiar numbers regardless of what it is being rated. When talking about your company's rank internally, use the same ranking language as when pitching customers. Wait a second. So people generally prefer lists that use familiar numbers, regardless of what it is being rated. So does familiar numbers mean like from 1 to 10? Because this was actually the first thing that I was thinking about. Or is it like, okay, I don't know. So when talking about your company's rank internally, yeah, I understand this. Use the same ranking language as when pitching customers. What do they mean? But why would actually be your ranking system internally be familiar with the customer? Unless the customer just notices it. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're just having a ranking system and you're I think I somehow can understand it. You know, if you are like inside of your company, if it is like, okay, here is the senior, I don't know, designer, and here's like the vice president of design or whatever it is, I don't fucking know. Then if you're pitching, like, I don't know, like, I really don't know. I really don't know. I really do not know. But the 11th one gonna be a better one, you know, or it's gonna be just some thing that I can understand. So when a fear-producing message describes danger, but the recipients are not told of clear, specific, effective means of reducing the danger, they may deal with the fear by blocking out the message or denying that it applies to them. As a result, they may not take action at all. Word. Participants were more likely to get tetanus injection when they received a plan identifying the specific actions they could take to secure it. I get it. Like, if people actually know what they should be doing, like clearly know, specifically know, like, okay, go to the doctor, go to the doctor, just get an injection, and this is quite it. Rather than saying, like, okay, you should like inject yourself against or for tetanus just disease thing. I don't know. It feels like it would make sense, at least for me. I don't know how you're feeling about it, but for me it somehow just makes sense. It somehow just makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, let's go to the next one. The 12th one. Reciprocity obligates people to repay others for what we have received from them. Iceland granted American chess grandmaster Bobby Fischer, I know Bobby Fischer by the way, I know him, citizenship because he put Iceland on the international map, to quote an Icelandic news reporter. But why the fuck would he want to have a citizenship there? You know, unless he really likes Iceland. Like, do not get me wrong, Iceland, you're probably a pretty great country. I don't know you. I haven't been to you, but I don't know. So what does actually reciprocity mean? Because I don't know this. The practice of exchanging things with others for mutual benefits. So reciprocity obligates people to repay others for what we have received from them, which means that, you know, if I'm just seeing this right now, if I'm just thinking about it now, is it like, you know, when I've gotten something from somebody, is it like, okay, I have kind of the feeling that I have to just give them something back? Is this what they mean? You know, because it would be just very simple, but I don't know. Like, I do not know. I don't know. Hey, I don't know. Did you know that I don't know? Because I don't know that you didn't know that I don't know. Think about that. The 13th one. The more personalized a request, the more likely one will agree to it. People were more likely to fill out and return a survey when it was accompanied by a handwritten sticky note requesting its completion. Yeah, I can think of that. I can really think and also believe in that it is actually the case. Because, yeah, I don't know, you know, especially then if it is like, okay, your name, like, Christopher, please just fill out this survey. Then I'm going to be like, well, you know, they requested me to do this, you know, unless it is something that I just would never ever just kind of fill out, like it is about like just, I don't know, really personal data or something, then no, I'm not going to do it. but it would somehow make sense to me. The 14th one. To make a gift or favor more persuasive and influential, give the recipient something significant, unexpected, and personalized. Food servers increased their tips by 23% by returning to their diners and placing a second mint on the table. Is mint just like sweets or something? The bag. A mint. Informal. Can I just please get more? No, I can't. Mint. Plants. I guess, it. As far as I can tell, I guess it is just sweet, isn't it? But which is really interesting, like something. But I kind of, it somehow makes sense, it somehow makes sense that if you just give somebody something that they haven't expected, it's just gonna be great. It's gonna be just really influential. Additionally to your gift, like I don't know, as I'm just thinking about it. If you're giving somebody something that they could expect, but you're giving them something else, or you're doing it in such a way that is so unexpected, I guess the gift is just gonna be completely differently received, isn't it? At least just it would make sense. In my point of view, it would make sense. Or it would seemingly make a difference, as I'm thinking about it. You might be thinking about it differently, which is totally fine, which is also pretty good. The 15th one. Negotiators who offer an early concession and then accompany their concession with a request for a favor appear to place themselves at an advantage. Not only do they create a more collaborative climate for a deal to take place, but they also increase the chances that a deal will take place. So compared to the 40% of buyers who agreed to a deal as a result of a straightforward price discount, the addition of a requested favor increased agreement to 62%. So the addition of a requested favor. It is a pretty tough one. The summary is definitely a pretty tough one. So I'm gonna read it again. Skip this part. If you're on YouTube, if you're on just the podcast, please skip it. Whenever it is bothering you, but I don't understand. So negotiators who offer an early concession. What is a concession? What the fuck is a concession? I don't know what a concession is. Okay, and then accompany their concession with a request for a favor appear to place themselves on, which means is it okay? You want to have just 70% off? And never mind. You might think about it, you might know it, but I do not know it. The next one, the 16th one. So when trying to solicit cooperation from other people, offer them help in a way that is genuine and unconditional. Hotel guests were 45% more likely to reuse their towels after learning that the hotel had already donated to a charity on behalf of its guests. This is very, very nice. And this is something that is very unconditional. And this is definitely just a really unexpected thing. I just really believe that this is something that people are going to think about. And this is definitely something that people are going to act on as well, as I'm just thinking about it. As I'm just thinking about it. Yeah. The 17th one. So to make a corporate social responsibility, which is SCR, program work, persuade decision makers that it's worthwhile. Second, look for ways to publicize the charitable deeds that you practice without begging or appearing self-righteous or righteous. Write this. So participants who were told about a winery support of a charity rated the wine as tasting much better than those who had not been given the additional information. Yeah, I think so. The thing is, what I'm just thinking about is, do fair trade bananas taste better than non-fair trade bananas? Or bananas, whatever, bananas just sounds better, just sounds funnier, therefore I'm just using bananas. It's the exact same thing as ass. No, ass. Your ass is big. I like that. Like I really like that. It just sounds funnier. Cooler. Not really cooler, but funnier. Yeah, never mind. What is this episode? What is this episode like? I think it's, for me it makes sense. And if you can just consciously use it, it's just great. It is good. Then just have your charity wine, have your just fair trade thing. If people like it more, then it is actually a win-win. You probably can just price your shit. It is actually a win-win-win. You can price your shit a little bit higher. The people get just better money. Those farmers and whatsoever, which is amazing, which is really amazing, and also the people like it more. Yeah, really good, really fucking good. But I'm just thinking about the test, like, was it like, okay, here you have a wine, and here you have another wine, but it is fair trade, just let's consider it being fair trade, and then they just drink it and like, okay, the fair trade one is just way better than the other one. It just must have been this way. Like, it's still funny. If you do a favor for a colleague or an acquaintance, that favor is likely to have the most impact on that person's desire to reciprocate within a short period following the favor. If you are the recipient of a favor, however, you need to be aware of the tendency of people in your position to downplay that favor as time goes by. So recipients of a favor perceived it as more valuable immediately after it was performed, but less valuable as time passed. Yeah, which means, okay, if you want to do so, if you do somehow want something in return, people are gonna definitely be way more just excited, quote unquote, about what you did for them. If it is like just, 2 seconds ago, than if it was like 7 months ago. Because I think it also plays just something that also plays in that is that people just care about themselves. And if you're just having 7 fucking months of time to care about yourself and think about yourself, then it's gonna be something different if you only have 2 seconds to think and act on just, touch yourself. Never mind. No. Yeah, just because it is something new that we're having on this podcast, we're going through a question, a question that I'm having on Quora. If you want me to answer one of your questions as well, then just hit me up on Quora or any social media site. I'm going to see those questions and I'm going to just take it into the podcast, which I assume is actually a pretty great thing. Other people are doing it. I'm not saying that it's an original idea. It's definitely not. But it is something pretty nice because it's a win-win. I win because I'm having a new kind of format here, and you win because you get an answer or a question answered by me. Yeah, if this is something nice, it is on you. But but the worst thing is actually just choosing one of them, because it's like a few of them. Yeah, but let's see. Let's actually just make one wish and then I'm often seeing things about productivity, but I actually like this one. I'm gonna take this one. What is an effective way to make your night, it is about the night, your night more productive? The thing is, something that I've been talking about yesterday as well, if it is about sleep, if it is about just really doing something, or if it is about I don't know, if you can do something just really productive while you're sleeping. If you want to do this, I guess just listening to an audiobook or listening to some podcast or something while you're sleeping might be pretty good or might be pretty productive, because you're learning while you're sleeping. Could just really just be something pretty great for you. If it is about productivity in general, I don't know, just wake up earlier or work more. It is way easier than just to figure out how to be more productive, and or just something that is a tip a lot of people will give you is just turn off your phone, just do not get distracted, get really into your state of just really working a lot. In terms of the night, I don't know, just drink coffee if you're getting tired relatively quickly. Even though this is something that I do not want to suggest, because it is when you can't sleep afterwards, it's just really shitty. So, I don't know, drink a lot of water. Water is very important. eat something before you just start whatever you're doing. Might also help with your productivity. And I don't know, just don't do it in the night, unless you're actually a night owl or night person. It is just way easier for you to do things in the night than it is in the day. Yeah, just maybe you try those things. And this is gonna be it with this episode. This is gonna it with this episode. I really hope that you've liked it, and I really hope that you've got just some value out of it, whether it is information, entertainment, whatever it is. I see you the next time, hopefully. So please subscribe and also like the video, and or just subscribe to the podcast and also to the YouTube channel, which would really mean the world to me. But yeah, I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success. And I also hope that you're going to remind yourself how you're gonna be remembered, which basically means your legacy, because we can totally shape it. The thing is, no matter how nice you are and no matter how generous and good you are, there's still gonna be someone that doesn't like you or maybe even hates you. It is what it is. But yeah, I wish you the best. And some things that you could also be thinking about is your purpose, and questions that might help you with that are: why are you here? What are you trying to change, and what is bothering you the most? And the last one is maybe also a question that might help you to find a new business idea, because it often started with such a question. But yeah, I see you the next time. Thank you very much for going through this with me. It just means the world to me. It really does. And I see you the next time, hopefully.